All right, so I'm talking Apple. So if you don't like Apple, if you hate Apple, if you're Android biased or whatever, if you got any type of ill will towards Apple, this video is not for you. Gone. I'm not playing. So what I want to talk about is Apple's power move with the 6.1 inch budget, or whatever you want to call it, iPhone. We're going to talk about that. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, anything creative. Let's talk about Apple's power move. Now, why am I calling it a power move? Think about it. We're talking about Apple. Now, I know Apple has had a lot of controversy as of lately. We're not going to get into that. We're just going to focus on the lineup that Apple has coming, mainly the 6.1 inch Apple iPhone, whatever it's called. There's no name for it, no official name, or really the price isn't official yet, but there's a lot of skepticism in it being in a certain area of like the 600, 700-ish area. That is amazing. We're talking about Apple. Apple has been out of reach for so long, and has been a complaint of Apple in the smartphone area of them being far too expensive. And last year's release of this phone, the iPhone X, did not help that stigma at all. Releasing a $1,200 smartphone. Mind you, let me say that again. A $1,200 smartphone when no other smartphone on the market is in that price range. It was, it's kind of rough. And I think Apple finally realized that they can't push that price anymore. And I really think that they put that, like Apple puts out these prices and just to see if people will buy it. And people didn't really buy into it. Yes, the iPhone X did well. Yes, it sold according to Apple. You know what I mean? But they did realize that they didn't hit the numbers that they thought they were going to hit. And I think that was a reality check for Apple. And so they went back to the drawing board, and here comes this 6.1 inch LCD version, which has a very similar, it looks like the up-to-date phone. It has the notch like the iPhone X. Literally, it's almost like having an iPhone X without breaking the bank. Now, no, you don't get the dual cameras. So obviously, there's just gonna be a single camera, which I think is fine. I'm not really into the whole dual cameras, and I think that whole triple camera stuff, that's just overkill. Like, we need to chill out. Like, literally, like, perfect the one, as did the Google Pixel camera. Like, they have the one camera, and they have the best smartphone camera in the market right now. Like, so the dual cameras, I don't even care about that. So obviously, doing 6.1 inch LCD, which is, for the people who don't know, not the same as an OLED. But Apple iPhones have been LCD for so long. Like, literally, the iPhone X is the first non-LCD iPhone, so I don't think anyone would notice a difference. Look at it. I mean, if you own the iPhone 8 right now, or 8 Plus, you're on LCD. So going to the iPhone, whatever this is called, 6.1 inch, would be no issue. And you're gonna get the new design. You're gonna get the notch. Yes, you're gonna get the notch. I know. And we're not talking about the notch haters, okay? I get it. Hey, we all are waiting for the notch to go away, but until then, it is here now. Except for with Samsung. Yo, shout out to Samsung for sticking to their guns on that one. But that's beside the point. The 6.1 inch is gonna be a more budget-friendly, it's a gateway into the ecosystem. It's a gateway into Apple for so many who couldn't get in or couldn't get with the $1,000 phone. And also, Apple's supposed to lower the price of their, whatever the next iPhone X name is gonna be, or the iPhone 11. The price is supposed to come down. Same thing with the iPhone 11 Plus. The price is coming down, cheaper than the iPhone X, supposedly. Two reports, you know what I mean? We'll see what Apple really pulls out of their sleeve when it comes time to release these things later on this year. So now with the 6.1 inch iPhone and price not being the issue, at least right now with the rumors of what the price is going to be, like, it's going to be more than easier for any Android user to scratch that itch that they've had to want to check out the Apple ecosystem. Like, if you're just curious about how iOS could be, or you want to, try it out, especially with iOS 12, which is supposed to be a big improvement from iOS 11. If you've been for a long time on the sideline, I get comments down below from long-time Android users who are bored with Android and just kind of curious about Apple. That happens. And I highly advise everyone to try every platform and use them all. And, try the Pixel, try an iPhone, and, go back to Android or whatever you're into. Like, you have to try everything. So this is a more affordable way to scratch that itch without, jumping, gung-ho in at whatever, $1,200 or $1,100 or however much Apple could be charging in the future for their flagship. Easier on the pockets. I can't stress that enough. And this is dangerous for the other companies because now Apple is able to compete with those lower priced Android devices because they're bringing in a lower price iPhone. And it's not like a cheap like iPhone 5C. It's not like a plastic. It has retained the iPhone look, the Apple's exquisiteness, the sleekness. It looks like their up-to-date model at a better price. Like, how can that not be a win-win for Apple? If you're an Apple hater and you hear me talking about Apple, blah, 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 like you got some stupid comment to say right now, just be gone. I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So with that being said, those people who are gonna scratch that itch with this 6.1 inch LCD version, you scratch that itch, it could mean a new home and a new ecosystem with Apple if you like it. Apple is known for just working. Now, they're getting known for a lot of other things lately, which I'm not too fond of as well. And I'm hoping, I'm rooting for Apple to get about that nonsense and come correct. Apple, you gotta come correct. Literally, if you about to make this power move and you about to get a lot more people into your ecosystem, you gotta come correct across the board, especially for your day ones. People who've been rocking with you before you was with the iPhone, you know what I'm saying? You gotta come back. You gotta get back with the pro market, the pro consumers. You gotta appease us too. So you're gonna get all these new people coming into the ecosystem, you know what I mean? That means it's gonna be less attention for the day ones. You taking away attention from your day ones to take on a bigger market, which we've already felt the effect of. You gotta be very responsible about this, Apple. You gotta come A1. You gotta up this quality control. You gotta get the software on point. You gotta do it, cause you finna open up a can of Apple, you're finna take on a hell of a lot more consumers right now. This is a power move. You dropping the price on your flagships as well as bringing out a more budget-friendly iPhone equals more customers, more to market. I can't stress that enough. So I need you to come correct. Note to Apple, please come correct. You know what I mean? And another note to Apple, look out for your pro consumers, the people who want the MacBook Pro along with their brand new iPhone or whatever, you know what I mean? Or people who want a banging iMac or an iMac Pro, want the right support for it. Your pro consumers are your day ones. They're the ones that made you. And I hope you don't forget us. So regardless if you love Apple, hate Apple, I really don't care. I'm speaking to the people who are curious about Apple, who've always wondered or always wanted to get into the ecosystem, but their biggest holdback was the price. Well, now that's no longer an issue. So now you have a reason to try it and see if you like iOS. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to those biased people because they're cheating themselves in life. You gotta try everything. You know what I mean? I'm not biased either way. Although, yeah, I did side with iOS over Android. And I mean, I care less how you feel about that. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, my real truth is I play both sides of the fence. I'm gonna always have an Android device and an iOS device. I need that perspective. That's the only way I can give it to you, raw, real, uncut, and how it is. And if either side is slacking, I'm calling them out. That's why I'm saying to Apple right now, really get your stuff together. Because your pro consumers, your day ones like me, who've been down in the pro market, because that's what I use Apple for, is pro uses. You know what I mean? I'm not out here, I'm on some real, I'm editing crazy. I'm pushing my machines to the utmost point. Yes, I edit on a custom PC. I'm getting all off the subject. So the 6.1 inch Apple iPhone is a power move, in my opinion, by Apple. The only thing is they have to be responsible going forward. They have to own their BS, own their mishaps. You know what I mean? All of this stuff with the keyboards and and stuff about this and then still putting it out and putting it on the customer. That's not gonna fly, Apple. Own your ish, fix it. I saw you make a slight move with the keyboards lately. You put out something, you're replacing it or replacing keys or whatever. Come 100, come correct. Get the new system. Get rid of that butterfly keyboard, whatever the heck that is. Ooh, hey, if you invested a hell of a lot into it and you lost, oh well. So the iPhone 6.1 inch is dropping later on this year. Is a power move. It's a great move. This is like the replacement of your iPhone 8. So the iPhone 8 had the old technology, it had the chin and the forehead. This is the next rendition of the iPhone 8, but with the new technology and new look. We can finally say goodbye to the bezels that iPhone hung on to for so long. Get rid of that chin, get rid of that button. Let's get into the gestures. I like the gestures, actually. Now, eventually, Apple, you still gonna have to get rid of that notch, but until then, I understand. But anyway, oh man, I'm getting so off topic. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. The Apple 6.1-inch smartphone is supposed to be at a great price. I'm looking at this as a power move by Apple to kind of have a competition in more of the market. But are you interested? Do you even care? Do you see this as a way for you to scratch that itch if you've been a long time Android user? Are you happy that the price of the flagship, like the iPhone X2, is coming down, or whatever, iPhone 10 or 11 or whatever, you know what I mean, iPhone 11? Are you happy that those prices are coming down? Are you happy with Apple? That's a loaded question. I probably shouldn't ask that one. Anyways, my name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, anything creative. Before we go any further, smash that like button. Smash that sub button. Let's talk about it. 6.1-inch Apple iPhone. I think it's gonna be something great. I think it opens up the market for a lot of people. For the people who don't care about OLEDs and all these crazy specs, they got a cheaper phone to buy if they want an iPhone. Sweet. Anyways, I'm done.